Hello, Thashlin.
Hey, Philip.
Hello, everyone listening, both after the event and live. So today we have the pleasure of sharing some cool insights and ideas for how to crush or slay this season with the Christmas and how you make your ad sparkle on display. And I'm joined here by Thashlin Adu, who's our senior creative strategist at Scheme. I'll just give him a little bit of a push up and promote him very well. So Theshlin has been working for several years with the biggest brands in the world and is probably one of the smartest people I know when it comes to creativity and strategic planning. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's prepared and talk through how we can help you and your brands elevate this season and crush it. So yeah, take it away, Theshlin.
Cool. Thanks for the lovely intro, Philip. And thank you to everybody for attending this morning. Today, on Tuesday, we're going to take you guys through Christmas with Iskimi. Just a quick deep dive into what consumer insights are, what creative solutions look like, and how Iskimi can enable your brand to win and drive impact during the Christmas season. So let's get started. So we know Christmas is coming, less daunting than winter, but way more exciting. And it's a time that evokes joy, warmth, and unity, making it a perfect opportunity for brands to create compelling ads that, resonate deeply with consumers. It's a really emotive event full of joyous celebrations. And this occasion drives significant shopping interest as well, which is why it's so important for brands. With consumers actively seeking gifts, treats, and decorations, looking to elevate their Christmas experience, whether it be for gifting, for decorating their home, or just cooking with friends and loved ones. Businesses and brands often enhance the festive experience by offering exclusive discounts and promotions during this time, because this is a peak retail occasion where people are looking for the best discounts and offers and looking to shop for their end of year deals. Christmas is therefore a standout moment in the year and a peak retail occasion that is celebrated throughout the globe. We're not just saying that, as the data actually speaks for itself. Christmas is the most anticipated time of the year, and this is actually something that is seen globally. We can see that 81% of users globally actually await this festive season. And when looking at it by split by region, it's 78% in Europe, 92% in Africa, 80 in USA, and 82 in Latin America. All of these are over 75%, meaning more than three-fourths of people on these regions do celebrate Christmas and do look at it as a time that is most anticipated throughout the year. This is also a highly competitive time for brands where they're all fighting for share of voice and share of wallet, looking to be the go-to brand during the Christmas season that evokes these moments of joyous celebration and gives you the deals that you're all waiting for as consumers. The best time to start advertising is immediately, as users are already beginning their Christmas shopping. And in fact, tis the season for early shoppers, as mentioned. So holiday shopping spree begins earlier than most realize. In fact, 38% of shoppers are looking to shop for Christmas presents and deals as early as October, and that's right now. This early engagement sets the timeline for us as advertisers, telling us that momentum builds sharply from October into November, skyrocketing to 65% of shoppers who actively look at buying in early December. These are obviously sort of
Yeah,
shoppers who are looking to get a
and to chime in here again, I think many of us have kids. Think those are lucky who are not lucky on having that yet. Is that we already see that, right? So if you have kids, you're already beginning now with the Christmas presents, the list, and also for your significant other, right? So it is just already starting. We can see that from ourselves. But again, when it comes to advertising, there's a lot more preparation needs to be done, of course, right? So as soon as possible. I've heard about some companies that start already in January. With some of these events. So having this mindset and of course being prepared. We always do it a little bit last minute, but I know a lot of these big brands are focusing. Do you have any good examples of brands that you've been working with on some good examples that have started earlier on this planning stage?
So, from actually looking at brands, the most common brands that I have seen that start early are the ones that are most associated with Christmas. So, your likes of your Coca-Colas and stuff, who, the red for Christmas and Santa come with. But yeah, as mentioned, it is a very competitive time. So, making awareness a very important, thing. So, every brand should be investing into awareness during this time, as all of the brands that compete with you within your vertical are going to be, looking for share of wallet and trying to gain that consumer segment that you are fighting for as well. In terms of early December shoppers, these are the guys who are looking to check out. They are a bit late to the party, but brands can actually maximize value for these last minute shoppers during this time by placing their brand front and center, because as I said, awareness is still important. But during this period, we can also serve them communications that offer a swift and seamless checkout process, which is something that consumers have been seen to value, especially during peak retail occasions such as this. And it's how brands can actually win and capture that share of market. So overall, Christmas is a peak retail occasion where users are aggressively filling their baskets, comparing prices, and seeking out the best deals from brands. So the overall, advice that I can give is to be present, to be there with communications that matter, and to drive that impact during the festive season. Cool. So now that we know that Christmas is critical, but where exactly is all of this money going? This chart shows us the top 3 opportunities that we need to actually focus on, and they tell 2 very different stories. First, our high volume categories, where we're looking at clothing, accessories at 71, and toys and hobbies at 67%. It tells us that everyone buys here, and we can think of it from ourselves with clothing and accessories. Whenever Christmas comes around, we're looking to meet with our friends and family. It's all about getting a new Christmas outfit to celebrate with, and toys and hobbies. That's for gifting. We do have, as Philip mentioned, there's children in some people's lives where they have nieces or nephews or young loved ones where they're looking at buying them toys, and this is why this is such a popular consumer segment during this time. For brands operating in these verticals, the key focus is inspiration and visibility. So maintaining visibility, as mentioned, is key, as there are many brands that are competing for share of Christmas spotlight during this time. What I can recommend is 3D formats, which are really good at driving attention. They're really high impact, and they quite literally break through the advertising clutter in the digital space to get your brand known. Secondly, we'll look at high value categories, where we're looking at brands that fall within the electronics and gift card sort of segments. These drive the highest average spend, and this makes sense because gift cards are obviously speaking to these last minute shoppers where they don't know what to necessarily get for people, but a gift card is just easier to get. And then also where we're looking at consumer electronics, a lot of people wait for end of year deals to renew their contracts or upgrade to the latest technology, or maybe even give people the latest smartphone. For these brands, the focus is trust and deals. Shoppers are here researching and comparing prices, and our campaign should lead with competitive pricing, clear value, as well as product features. At Eskimi, we have a lot of interactive formats that allow the user to quite literally engage with the product in the digital space. And this is a really powerful format because once the user has actually quite engaged with it in the digital space, they form these perceptions, they know what the brand stands for, they know what the value proposition is. All that's left is for them to translate it into the physical one and end on a purchase. So now that they've engaged with it in the digital one. So this is a really powerful way of doing that, especially for smartphone technology brands. And this is how essentially we can put the data to work by matching our advertising to the consumer's mindset in each category. For example, for a fashion brand that's looking to showcase their winter apparel, we can have dynamic carousels where they change based on the background, whether you're inside by the fire or outside throwing snowballs with your friends and family. We can showcase apparel in that way. It could even work for entertainment and streaming services brands, where we can quite literally put all of your festive movies and Christmas catalogs front and center for people to enjoy with their friends and family, showcasing that contextual relevance and messaging during the Christmas season. By doing this, we can capture the full Christmas opportunity and reach consumers in ways that they value most. So, with every brand actually fighting for visibility during Christmas, it becomes important to maintain consistency everywhere the shopper looks. Relevance during Christmas, as mentioned, is very important because of all of these brands who are competing for share of voice and share of wallet and wanting to be the go-to brand for festive shopping. In terms of how consumers actually respond to attention and relevancy of ads seen on different channels, retail websites during product searches are the most effective, showing a massive 67% for both ad relevancy and attentiveness to the actual ads. What this tells us is that users are quite often in discovery mindset here. They're exploring gift ideas, not just looking at a single price. If our desired consumer is in this exploratory moment, brands should tailor their communications to showcase the benefits and speak to the content pillars that matter most to them in that moment. Another fact about this is that these channels don't actually operate in silos. As important as online is, these channels are all working together in cohesion. We see strong supporting roles from outdoor and traditional, which boosts brand recall and awareness during the festive season. But our ultimate goal here for brands is to be consistent on each channel. Brands that maintain a unified presence across all of these relevant channels will experience significantly higher recall and a strong association with the Christmas shopping theme. The message is clear: be present and be consistent in order to maximize your brand visibility during the Christmas season. So at Eskimi, we have solutions in place for your brand to do just that. If we think about how we engage with our devices as users throughout the day, it's not just on our phones. We're not just glued to one screen throughout the day. We expose to so many different channels and formats throughout our daily lives. And this is quite frankly how we wake up in the morning, we engaging with like display, throughout cell phones. We checking the news, we checking our feeds. From that, we get ready, and then we have a commute where we quite often are listening to audio in our cars, or we're looking at digital out of home screens as we drive past and commute. Once we get to work, we're on our PCs and laptops as well as our cell phones. We're working, we're engaging in the online space, and we're scrolling on our feeds. Once we get home, we're commuting once again. We're opening up an opportunity for digital out of home and audio. And then once we get home and we like relaxing, we're on our couches and we engaging with CTV. And all of this paints a picture of how a brand can actually appear contextually relevant throughout the day in ways that don't lend the brand to ad fatigue or saturation, because you're appearing on different channels and on different formats that really amplify your brand presence in different ways.
Yeah, can I comment on this one? Because I think I'm going to be a little bit negative now. And I think that's not in the Christmas spirit, but I think not enough brands or agencies are working omni-channel or multi-channel. I don't think there's anything called omni-channel because you can't do that. But multi-channel, I think a little bit of advice is to be more incorporated in your media planning here. I think it's never been that easy to buy either programmatically or direct on all of these channels, right? The entire ecosystem has evolved so much, but we're becoming a little bit more lazy. I think people are defaulting a lot more to either let's just do TV or let's just do social, let's just display. So I think having a better ingrained vision of how you want to do this with touch points across the funnel, right? I think this is something that I would like to advocate more for. I know I can't change the world by just telling people that, but I think we're becoming a little bit too lazy as marketers and advertisers. And instead of thinking big picture, we're thinking also a little bit too short term, right? And not in terms of how everything works together. And that also comes to the tracking, right? So running brand lift studies, running these surveys on how things are working, what is the actual impact, right? I think this is a little bit of a shout out to we can do better as marketers. Myself, we can do better, we should do better, right? I think we're missing out on a big piece of the pie if we're not activating as many of these as possible, because people are investigating on the different stages that you talked about, right? So it's from search to awareness, all of those, they play together. And I think if I could change one thing is let's work on adding another channel next quarter. Just one channel, doesn't have to be all of them, but just have that as a KPI for your team. I would advocate.
Cool. Thanks, Philip. So on that note, we're now going to speak more about the Christmas toolkit. It's our roadmap and a complete 4-phase plan for brand impact this Christmas season, where we move users through the funnel from curiosity to conversion and finally to loyalty by aligning our creatives and communication with their emotional state during the Christmas season. And that starts off with phase 1 being the pre-festive build-up. The purpose here is brand reach and awareness, getting people talking about your brand, setting the stage, and building creative anticipation during this time. It's about planting your brand name firmly in the early stages of Christmas consideration. And in terms of creatives, this phase is about using creatives that create excitement and urgency. And as you can see with the likes of countdown ads and wishlist ads that create that anticipation and mystery over what the brand has to reveal and what their offerings are going to be. The value during this phase is that by creating this and boosting brand relevance right from the start, we can ensure that your brand is top of mind where the user officially starts their shopping journey in October and as well as November. Secondly, from that, we move into the Christmas gift shopping phase, where it's all about driving brand and product consideration, tying in the brand and product closer to the Christmas season. This is a critical sales phase, and we position your brand as the ideal gift while giving users easy ways to actually buy it. In terms of ad formats, we transition to high impact formats such as 3D gift unwrap ads and product feeds, where we allow users to easily save items, scroll through the product range, and move them directly to a seamless checkout. The value for brands in this phase is that our creative actually focuses on boosting consideration with clear festive messaging, compelling offers, and unique showcasing of product experiences where we can maximize conversions during the peak buying window during Christmas. From that, we move into peak season celebrations about love and loyalty, moving more into that emotive and loyalty building stage of branding and marketing, where we focus on shopping where it slows down and the holiday actually arrives, and where people are celebrating Christmas right at the peak. This is where we shift entirely to brand equity and building that for your brand. In terms of ad formats, we look at takeover ads and highly interactive ads, which are fun, emotive formats that can capture attention during family gatherings and celebrations that associate the brand with Christmas festivities and lend the brand to a lot of positive sentiments. The value here is that it's all about fostering a sense of community as your loyal following of Christmas, followers during the season in terms of celebration. By using emotive messaging in this, it highlights the togetherness of Christmas, and we can boost positive brand equity that lasts well into the new year. From that, we move into post-festive loyalty building. We look at measurement because we do want to track success and see if we've had lift during this time. The holiday isn't over when the presents are unwrapped. We ensure no sales opportunity is going to be left behind, and this is how we measure our success through a brand retargeting survey where we can immediately retarget users who have added items to the cart but didn't complete their journey, or those who have shown interest but didn't necessarily purchase. Simultaneously, the brand survey is essential for measuring a change in consumer perception, identifying the tangible brand lift that our campaign achieved during the Christmas season. So, by following this Christmas toolkit, we don't participate in Christmas. We own the entire emotional and purchasing journey, ensuring both long term revenue and long term brand health.
So, questions of this: what is your suggested, let's say South Africa, for example? What's your suggested budget for a brand like an FMCG brand that wants to do this? Is this $1 million, or can this be done with $20,000, or what's your take on the sizing when you can go in and have this many types? So it's a sequential targeting as well, right? So just a little bit of a trick question.
So I would say it's dependent on the brand. Obviously, not everyone can be premium, but everyone can reach users with messaging that is relevant to them. You don't necessarily have to compete in each phase, but I would suggest at least three. From like a budget perspective, I wouldn't think that this is too much. The most expensive format would be our 3D formats, which we do know are the more complex ones, but most of the stuff is actually templated. So meaning you can just chop and change your brand assets into these actual creative formats and quite literally have this rollout for your brand with the scheme.
Perfect.
Cool. So now that I've actually showcased what the phases look like, I'm quickly going to take you through some creative ideas and suggestions that we've been cooking up at the Creative Studio. Firstly, our countdown ads. I did mention countdown ads in the beginning, and what's great about this is it quite literally has a timer. There's a countdown. It gets anticipation. It gets people wondering, hey, what does this brand actually have to offer? And it's really great in terms of creating that talkability and lending the brand to earn media engagement whenever they have something that's launching during the festive season. We then also have Philip. Do you want to add something there?
No, I think I really love these. Right, I think just having a specific call to action on some of them, or a specific message. Right, I think those are usually when I see, again, it's an awareness stage, but I really like countdown. It makes it relevant, it makes it contextual, and you can do a lot more fun stuff with it. Right, just create also
100%.
FOMO if there's a sale. There's like a big FOMO to be had here, and I really like that from a psychological perspective.
100%. I mean, like you said, we can get a bit fun with it. We can replace this hero image with like an image of, let's say, your product that's over like it has a material placed over it, and maybe over time it just kind of gets drawn out more. Alternatively, we can get this hourglass to maybe fill and actually shape the actual product, so once it falls in, it's building up a phone or whatever product you guys had. So we can really get fun in terms of countdown ads and building that anticipation and excitement in that.
Yeah, and there's some really good, I would say most good examples I've seen come from the electronics giants, right? So when they have a new product release, they do like to use these, and it's something big is coming, right? And the countdown, it really adds that curiosity as well. And then
Yeah.
tailor it with the rest of the ads, right? Of course, sequentially.
Yeah, like you've said, we've seen the likes of Samsung with their Galaxy Unpacked who have used this frequently. We also seen it with like brands who frequently like to tap into key sport events like, FIFA or AFCON, of just creating countdowns and that anticipation. There's so many nice applications that we can have for this.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then we move into wish list and advent ads. And what I like about this is it quite literally positions your product as something that that it's softer as the go-to gift during Christmas. So why not do this? Once the user actually engages with it and actually adds their ad, we can retarget them since they've shown interest, ensuring that we're actually engaging with users who are the most determined or purposeful in terms of wanting to engage with your ad and its products. And it's really nice in that way because it quite literally translates the feel of Christmas and writing that letters to Santa into the digital space, which is really nice and festive and lends your brand to all of these positive associations in that way.
Yeah.
Next, we have a defrost your deal, where that also brings it closer to that winter feeling, where it's quite literally inviting users to hold onto the ad and defrost the deal and melt over the ice. Something I like about this is it kind of makes it more immersive because even though this isn't practically happening, the warmth from your figure is essentially showcasing itself as something that's defrosting the deal. Really nice and interactive and bringing your brand closer to the festive and Christmas messaging during the season, which lends it to high, recall and relevancy during this time. Next, we have a blow to reveal ad. Something that I like about this is it actually asks users for consent to use their microphone. From that, it covers the phone in snowflakes or whatever Christmas festive sort of creative assets you guys have. And we invite the user to blow over it and wipe away everything. And it quite literally gets removed and showcases and reveals your product in a really nice and festive way. And that, I think this is really cool because it's immersive in that way. And it translates to, blowing on Christmas snowflakes to reveal something really nice.
Yeah, I think when I came to Scheme 3.5 years ago, I think when I first saw this and tried it, my mind was blown. And I come from the tech world for the last 20 years, and even I was surprised about it. Of course, it's not the wind; it's the sound that activates. But I still think this is my favorite format, and it brings joy still to my heart to see some of these examples and the brands that dare to think differently. I think those are amazing.
Yeah, and it's something that's really different and immersive compared to like all the other carousel and sort of swipeable formats that we will be seeing during the Christmas season. So why not do something different and competitively differentiate yourself and drive that impact to showcase yourself as a festive brand? Next, we look at the gift unwrap, which is the 3D format. So this Christmas, let's position your product as the ideal must-have gift for loved ones. We'll achieve this by injecting vibrant festive cheer into this creative solution and utilizing attention-grabbing 3D formats for this. This is a powerful combination that's not designed to only stand out in crowded spaces, but also to increase product recall and drive gift consideration throughout the entire holiday season, because we're associating your product with something that is a Christmas gift and it's something that, is the go-to present during the Christmas season. Cool. Next, this is also one of my favorites, which is Santa's Workshop, which is a newer format that we have. So imagine Santa's Workshop as a digital environment where your product is not just built, but also celebrated. This engaging format is an incredibly effective way to showcase a core product benefits and features in a way that are actively added to them during the assembly line. What I like about this is it's showcasing that, your product is being built in Santa's Workshop, and what it does is it adds in all of the product benefits each time to showcase the value proposition of the actual thing. So for example, whether it be a TV, we'll be adding in like 4K resolution, HDMI, the support, and it showcases all of those values. And at the end of the lineup, it just positions the brand as something that has been built in the workshop by the elves, and it goes out into the world to be delivered as a gift during the festive season, which brings the brand closer to Christmas and everything that goes along with it. It's a really nice, memorable and compelling narrative that ties your brand directly to the magic of the holiday season.
Yeah, very, very storytelling based and also immersive and gamified and a little bit commercial focused, right? Because the product is there, and I think I really like this one as well.
Yeah. Next, we're going to move into gamified ads. So this is the phase where we're actually speaking more about celebration, festivities, and how the brand does everything that goes beyond an actual product sale and lends itself to brand equity and brand love. I just wanted to touch on gamified ads because at Scheme, you have so many gamified ads available. Something that I really like about them is they create a one-on-one moment between yourself as the brand and the consumer, because the user is quite literally engaging with it. It lends itself to high retention rates, which opens the door for product education about your product lineup, what you have to offer, and it's just a fun way to actually reach consumers in a fun celebratory way during the festive season. And we have so many examples available for you guys to take advantage of.
Yeah, and time on ad, right? Dwell time on them can be over 10 seconds, 15 seconds, like a minute if people are highly engaged and competitive, right? I think those are amazing. Though you wouldn't see numbers like that in a Super Bowl commercial, right? So just having some of those in mind, I think is amazing if you want time on brand, right? And we know time on brand and frequency are the two biggest correlations to attention.
Exactly. Yeah. So the more time that someone is spending with your brand, the more associations that they're going to be building, the more perceptions they can, form about it. And it opens up the door, as mentioned, for product education and just educating users on what you have to offer, which is really great for like, the likes of finance brands or technology brands. Next, we get a bit more festive as well, as mentioned in this phase, with the decorate your tree solution, where let's invite users to actually have an interactive Christmas tree decoration experience, where we can quite literally templatize this whole ad and make it your brand and your brand's CI within the ad, where consumers can actively, theme their tree using your brand's product or visual elements. This unique, playful engagement not only encourages a creative, hands-on interaction with your brand, but also powerfully establishes your products as a joyful participant of the Christmas season, actually aligning your brand with the positive spirit and goodwill of Christmas. So picture being like, a cell phone brand and it's hanging out all the deals that, that you can have for that like, or if it's a clothing brand, it's doing the same thing. It allows you to engage with the actual brand and its products while tying in the brand to the festivities of Christmas. Cool. Next is something else that I really like, which are quizzes. I feel like this is something that is universally loved by everybody. So let's actually forge deeper consumer connections with this. We can launch a digital Christmas quiz that offers users a brief but delightful festive escape. Picture, just being or working on your laptop or PC, and you just see this sort of festive rich media ad by your brand, and they're just kind of inviting you to take a moment, slow down, and celebrate with them. A really nice and festive escape that immediately positions the brand as a true partner of holiday joy. And this interactive experience quite efficiently creates relevant, positive touch points with our audience, boosting goodwill engagement during the key shopping season. So that's like, one of the nice solutions I've had with it. Another thing that I can see happening with this is digital out of home experiences where we can have like Christmas karaoke by the brand, getting people to target them in areas with high foot traffic, getting them to have that moment of slowing down, singing a Christmas carol with people that are all around you, which is a really nice way of showing that brand love and positioning the brand as something that's tied into Christmas celebrations.
Yeah.
Lastly, I'm going to end off on brand surveys because, as mentioned, our creatives are highly effective. But how do we actually prove that? We move beyond clicks and conversions to measure true brand impact. And this is done through brand surveys. The core objective here is brand lift. We measure the change of brand perception from before the campaign starts to after it actually finishes. And this allows us to definitively see how highly relevant we can actually be during this time. The resulting data is our guarantee of marketing success, and it provides a clear view of the actual changes of consumer sentiment, brand lift, or perception, helping us optimize future strategy and measure success during Christmas to know where we can actually do better. Next, I want to just touch on our newest innovation and from the ad tech space, which is deep context, the contextual AI targeting solution. So deep context is something that goes beyond keywords. Instead of just seeing what a page is about, it uses advanced AI and natural language processing to understand the true meaning, mood, and emotion behind the content. Think of it as in this way. So a simple tool sees sees the word apple, and deep context actually knows if that page is about the fruit, the technology, the company, a health trend, or even a recipe. This allows us to place your ads in the most contextually relevant and brand safe environments possible, ensuring our message resonates precisely where the user is actually most receptive and in these spaces. It's smarter, deeper, contextual targeting that drives better performance without relying on personal data. And I'm just going to unpack that a bit more for you guys. So why is that actually such an effective tool for the holidays? Firstly, it elevates your brand resonance. This is the heart of relevancy. It's not enough to just be present. You need to feel right. Deep context ensures that your ads are matched with joy, warmth, generosity of the holiday season by connecting your brand's message to these positive, deep-seated emotions. And you create much stronger and more relevant connections with the audience in this way. Secondly, it maximizes engagement. Relevancy drives results. Use deep context to place ads on pages with positive holiday sentiment. Think gift guides, festive recipes, and more uplifting content. This maximizes the chance that the user is in a receptive, positive mindset, leading to significantly higher engagement rates. Next, we protect brand reputation. This is a vital component of effective, as the holidays can be a minefield of controversial or negative content. Even if the content contains Christmas keywords, deep context actively helps you avoid negative or controversial content by protecting your brand integrity and ensuring that your message never appears alongside content that could tarnish your reputation. And lastly, it optimizes your budget, ensuring you get the most out of your money. The power of deep context makes your spend far more effective by focusing our spend only where the message is contextually amplified. We ensure that your budget delivers a higher return on investments, and you're not just buying impressions, you're buying relevant and impactful impressions. So deep context delivers unparalleled brand relevancy by connecting your ads to the emotion of the actual season of Christmas, as well as key buying behaviors. That here are some examples of that in action. The holiday season is defined by specific consumer behaviors and festive interests. We know there's different sort of consumers who are going to be looking for various different sort of gifts, and they have different shopping habits. So deep context is actually designed to leverage these moments of discovery, guaranteeing brand safe placement in highly relevant environments where users are actively engaged. So let's look at two Christmas consumer segments. Firstly, festive electronic shoppers. As mentioned, people are going to be looking to upgrade their contracts, looking for the best deals and offerings of the latest technology, or just looking for festive sort of discounts during this time. And first, we have festive electronic shoppers. So this segment is defined by users who are actively researching, comparing, or showing interest in consumer electronics, a key category for holiday gifting. As you can see in the analysis details, it doesn't just look for like iPhone, it looks for things that are all about shit. Can you guys still see?
It's good.
Okay. Yeah, it looks for everything that is, to do with the people who are researching the product, who want to do deep dive into electronics, and guys who are real tech fundies in this way. This intelligence shows us that in order to effectively target users who are deep into their research phase, we can hit them during these key moments of discovery for the perfect gift. Here we can see we achieve an 86% average confidence in identifying the user interest, ensuring that we are reaching the right eyes at the right time.
Yeah,
Secondly,
and again, also that it understands every language, right? It understands whatever you throw at it, right? Which is amazing, since I'm now sitting in Denmark, which is not the most widely recognized language in the world with Danish. So just having that, understand that, like it's yeah, for me, it's the next big thing after yeah, since contextual was invented or created, right? I think this is really where it separates from being a computer thing to a human thing, where you can actually understand what's going on in your language in real time, right? And I think that's the one, even if it's for, let's say, curated segments like these, or your own bespoke audiences that you create as a brand. Like, this is what I want to target, this is the sentiment, these are the people, this is the content. I think this is really amazing. I think having some specific examples here is just great to see.
100%. Yeah. So as Philip mentioned, you can actually get specific in terms of the language. Deep context even gets specific in terms of the vernacular. It understands what consumers in the region care about and how they speak to each other, and how the brand can show up in ways that, drive the most impact. So this is really exciting, especially since we're at the early stages of this. And I'm really excited to see what the fruition and growth of this tool eventually looks like. So in terms of Christmas home cooking, this is our second example. We know that for many, the heart of Christmas celebration is, the family meal. This segment includes consumers who are focused on family, festive meals, and planning their holiday entertaining. Those foodies and those people who are like taking care of their friends and family and hosting during the Christmas season. Deep context identifies relevance in URLs like crispy oven fried chicken patties and gluten-free lemon pudding recipes. This indicates a user who is actively planning and preparing for the festive gatherings, and we can target these users while they're in these phases of discovering and planning for their festive food gatherings, so that you can actually say, hey, buy this ingredient or this food product to amplify your festive celebration. So for food and beverage brands, or even homeware brands, this is a prime moment of discovery, where the consumer is deciding on menus, shopping lists, what tools they need or what ingredients they need. With an 89 average confidence, we ensure that your brand appears alongside festive, high intent content, guaranteeing maximum relevance as well as brand safety. So, in summary, deep context for Christmas allows us to move past broad, generic targeting and focus precisely on these high value niche segments, ensuring that your brand is always present, relevant, and safe during the consumer's most critical moments of holiday discovery during this period. Cool. So now unwrapping brand impact during Christmas, just to recap and wrap up everything. It starts off with consumer insights. Success begins with understanding the audience. Consumer insights involve a deep dive analysis into mapping out how buying behaviors and buying, channels of consumers, identifying their shopping trends, and understanding the pathways consumers take when actually purchasing their products. This is what we glanced on in the beginning in terms of technology brands and the mixed multi-channel approach in terms of your brand presence. It's foundational knowledge that's essential for effective targeting. Secondly, premium creative. Next, we build the brand, we bring the brand to life and create that excitement. Creative excellence is about differentiating your brand in a crowded digital space. We develop premium creative solutions that not only allow your brand to stand out and maintain relevance, but to also ensure absolute brand consistency across every single consumer touchpoint. Then, as mentioned, deep context targeting. The final critical ingredient is precision. Deep context ensures your brand shows exactly where it matters most, and we beyond basic demographics to target users based on their psychographics and consumer mindset, identifying and engaging high intent consumers in their most receptive moments in the digital space. So, when these three elements come together, insights, creative, and deep context are all combined, they form the foundation for successfully unwrapping brand impact during this time. This Christmas, don't just advertise, own the moment. Our approach ensures that your creatives land precisely at the right screens at the very instant consumers are most receptive, delivering maximum impact for your brand throughout the Christmas season. Thank you.
Thank you, Theshlan. Amazing. So yeah, let's get started. So everyone knows who to call. It's Theshlan. If he has any questions, you can always find him on LinkedIn, or yeah, if you find his phone number, you're very lucky. Thank you everyone for participating. Those who didn't make it, or your colleagues who signed up, we'll send the recording afterwards. And yeah, have an amazing Christmas, make an impact, and have fun while doing it.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.